Hi, welcome back to part 2 of my adventure in developing a mystery film from 30 years ago, from the 1980s. I apologize for being so late in getting this episode up, but as you know, we're going through a bit of a crisis, and it's kind of tough getting any extra projects done.
If you saw part 1, you know that I discovered some exposed 35mm film in a cache of empty film cartridges that I received from the local high school.
If you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and click up here to see part 1. Go ahead, I'll wait.
So I took the newly developed negatives and scanned them on an Epson V550 scanner.
They are so curly.
I did not edit or enhance the images beyond the auto settings of the scanner. So out of those 8 rolls of film, 5 of them contained images. 2 of the rolls had images that were obviously shot at school, possibly as part of a yearbook class or perhaps part of a photography class. Here are some of the images that were on those rolls. It is kind of cool knowing that these young people are now middle-aged, like me. One roll appears to have been shot during a trip to Savannah, Georgia. To me, these photos were shot by someone with some talent. It is obvious to me that they love photography and express themselves through their images. The final 2 rolls really took my breath away. They feature an elderly woman in various poses. By her dress and her surroundings, these photos could have been taken during the Great Depression. Though time has not been kind to this film, the film did sit in a dark closet in the basement of the high school for over 30 years. You can see the artistry of the young photographer. You can also tell that the subject was willing to patiently pose for this photographer. It is obvious that the photographer and the subject shared a special bond. These images truly took my breath away when I first saw them on my monitor. Looking past the time-degraded quality of the negatives, these images are beautiful. I had to know who this woman was and somehow meet the photographer. I first showed the photos to friends and coworkers who attended the same high school during the 1980s. Some of the students in the photos were identified, but no one knew who the photographer was, or who was the remarkable woman in the last 2 rolls. I then turned to Facebook, posting this photo, asking if anyone knew who this woman was. In less than an hour, I learned who she was and was conversing with the photographer via Facebook Messenger. Through my conversations, I learned that all 5 rolls of images were shot by this same photographer, and that the remarkable woman was his grandmother.
Our local newspaper, the Smoky Mountain Times, wrote 2 articles about this. I'll put a link in the description so you can get more details. Hopefully, we'll get to meet the photographer in our next episode and hear about his remarkable grandmother. Until then, stay home, stay safe, and I'll see you next time.